Drive down any quiet street in Oakville or Burnaby on a Sunday afternoon, and you'll see it. A brand new $80,000 GMC Sierra sitting in one driveway. A gleaming Tesla in the next. A loaded Ford F-150 across the road, still wearing the dealer plates. And here is the question that should be keeping you up at night. How is everyone on this street affording an $80,000 truck on a $70,000 salary? The uncomfortable answer is that they aren't. They're not affording it at all. They are renting a lifestyle from a bank at 9% interest, and the bank is winning. What looks like success parked in that driveway is very often just a very expensive receipt for a decision that hasn't finished hurting yet. So today, let's do the math that the dealership hopes you never do. Let's find out what a car really costs you per year in Canada in 2026. Here's the trick the industry uses to make the impossible look affordable. They stretch the loan. 10 years ago, a car loan was 5 years. Today, in 2026, the average Canadian auto loan has quietly stretched to 84 or even 96 months. That is 8 full years of payments on a machine that starts falling apart long before the last payment clears. Why do they do it? Because a dealer can sell you almost any monthly number if they add enough months. That $1,100 a month feels survivable when you sign. But look closer at what you actually agreed to. You didn't buy a truck. You signed up for a decade-long, anchor bolted directly onto your net worth. And here is the part nobody says out loud. On a 96-month loan at 9%, you can pay nearly $30,000 in interest alone. $30,000 handed to a bank in exchange for absolutely nothing. Not a wheel, not a bumper, not a single kilometer of driving. That is pure rent on money you never had. Now, even if you paid cash, the car would still be quietly betraying you. Because the moment that new vehicle rolls off the lot and touches the 401 or the Coquihalla, it loses roughly 20% of its value, instantly, before you've even found your favorite radio station. By the end of year 3, about 40% of your hard-earned money has simply evaporated. Gone. Not spent, not enjoyed, just gone. The way water disappears from a pot left on the stove. You handed over $60,000, and you're now sitting in an asset worth $36,000. This is the trap. The loan goes down slowly, the value drops fast, and for the first several years, you owe more than the truck is worth. In the industry, they have a name for that. They call it being underwater. You call it your driveway. So let me offer you a different way to see the thing sitting outside your window. A financed luxury truck is not transportation. It is a wealth siphon. Picture a fuel tank with a slow leak in the bottom that no mechanic will ever agree to fix. Every kilometer you drive, you are not just burning gasoline. You are burning your future. You are feeding your labor, one commute at a time, into a machine that is engineered to turn your paycheck into rust and scrap metal. It never sleeps. Even parked, it is depreciating. Even parked, the insurance meter is running. It is the endless marathon where you sprint every single month just to stay in the exact same place, while the finish line quietly moves further away. That is what's really idling in the driveway. But the purchase price and the interest are only the beginning. In this country, there are 4 hidden costs that the salesman will never write on the window sticker. Call them the Canadian 4. Number 1, insurance. In 2026, this is no longer a small line item. The average premium in Ontario has now climbed past $2,000 a year, and in the GTA, many drivers are paying closer to $2,400. Out in British Columbia, drivers are handing over roughly $1,800 annually. Premiums in both provinces have outpaced inflation, driven by vehicle theft and the soaring cost of repairs. And here's the cruel twist. The newer and shinier your truck, the more the insurer charges you to protect it. Number 2, maintenance and the luxury tech trap. That beautiful touchscreen and those parking sensors are wonderful, right up until one of them fails. A single sensor, buried in a modern bumper, can cost $2,000 to replace. There is nothing simple left on a new vehicle. Every convenience is a future repair bill wearing a disguise. Number 3, the winter tax. This one is uniquely Canadian. A proper set of winter tires, storage for your summer set, the undercoating and rust protection to fight the salt that eats every vehicle on our roads from the bottom up. None of it is optional here. All of it comes straight out of your pocket, every single season. Number 4, the loony gap. Almost every part on your imported vehicle is priced in a stronger currency. When the Canadian dollar is weak, every brake pad, every panel, every component costs more to bring across the border. You feel it at the parts counter, and you feel it in every repair estimate. Add the Canadian 4 together, and the real cost of that truck is not the monthly payment. It's the payment times a number the dealer never mentioned. Now, here comes the part that actually changes lives, if you let it. It's called opportunity cost, and it is the most expensive idea most Canadians never think about. Take just the payment, $800 a month. Instead of feeding it into the wealth siphon, imagine you plant it. You put that same $800 every month into a low-cost global ETF inside your TFSA, and you leave it alone for 20 years at a reasonable 7% return. Do you know what that grows into? Over $400,000. Sit with that. The truck in the driveway isn't just a truck. It is a $400,000 hole where a paid-off cottage in Muskoka used to be. Every payment isn't a payment. It's a seed you are refusing to plant. You aren't just buying a vehicle. You are quietly setting fire to your own retirement, one deposit at a time. So what do people who actually build wealth in this country do differently? Here's the secret. Real wealth in Canada is quiet. It does not look like an $80,000 truck with the dealer plate still on. It looks like a 5-year-old, fully paid off Toyota or Honda sitting in the driveway of someone with a very healthy RRSP. The wealthy Canadian lets somebody else buy the car brand new. They let that first owner eat the entire 40% depreciation cliff. Then they buy it, certified pre-owned, for a fraction of the price, and they drive it carefully for 12 years. They keep the payment, and they invest the difference. That's the whole game. It was never complicated. It was just never flashy. And if you want one simple test to protect yourself, memorize this. It's called the 15% rule. Add up everything the car takes from you, the payment, the insurance, the fuel, the maintenance. If that total is more than 15% of your take-home pay, the car is no longer serving you. The car is driving you straight toward financial fragility. Here's how to feel it. If you have to work one full week out of every single month just to keep that metal box fed, then it isn't an asset. It's a boss. And the cruelest part? That metal box sits in your driveway, unused, roughly 23 hours out of every day. So let's be clear, because this country is enormous and cold and spread out, and the truth matters. You do need a car in Canada. That part is real. But you do not need the debt that comes bolted to the showroom shine. You do not need 8 years of payments and $30,000 of interest to get to work. A car is a tool for transport. It was never meant to be a trophy for status. The next time you're driving down a quiet street, and the moment the direct deposit lands, and you see a driveway full of gleaming, financed steel, don't feel envy. Feel relief, because now you know what's really parked there. It isn't wealth. It's a receipt. Buy the quiet car, plant the difference, and let somebody else pay for the shine. If this video helped, make sure to like and hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.